Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen's meeting for December 3rd. Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Colin McNabb here.
And Sulicio is here. I'd like to note that this meeting is being tape recorded. Chairman's additions or deletions. We have an addition of 3.9, which is to vote to approve the 2014 holiday schedule. And an addition of 1.5, which is a special acknowledgement. First, I'd just like to review and approve meeting minutes. We have meeting minutes from November 5th, May 14th, September 4th. Catching up, are we?
We are. We get a little behind on a couple.
Okay.
The only, before I make the motion, the September 4th, 2012, I wasn't on the board. So, what do we do in the case of?
It's not unusual to, it happens a lot with executive session minutes where they get approved after certain members have left the board, so.
There's no issues with?
You can approve them.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes for November 5th, 2013, May 14th, 2013, and September 4th, 2012.
And I'll second that. Any questions on any of it?
Nope.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 1.5, special acknowledgement. Do we have a little, did we get some kind of a letter that I should
We
read?
do have a little something.
Yeah?
Um,
What's the news there?
Oh, I didn't bring that letter.
Oh, well, we got notified that as of the 25th, Bob Plamondon is resigning as selectman, or has resigned as selectman. We thought we were going to get one more meeting out of him, but didn't happen. But he is here, and we're glad he's here, and we just want to be able to properly say thank you and say goodbye to him.
Thank you very
So
much.
Karen has a couple of
I feel like
things.
this is early Christmas
for
here.
him. Huh?
Thank you very much.
It's early Christmas.
It's just
yeah.
shredded newspaper.
Thank you very, very much.
We wanted you to be able to remember us forever, Bob.
I really, really want to take this opportunity to thank, and as I stated in my letter of resignation, present board members, Colin McNabb, Sulicio, and Mr. Sheehan, Karen, and acknowledged also the former town administrator, Gregory Bonds, whom I worked with for several years for everyone's hard work, and it was really a pleasure, and all the people I've served with over the years. You know, what can I say? I'm now officially a resident of New Hampshire. My wife and I have sold our home here effective the 25th of November, and at that point I obviously felt incumbent to resign because I'm obviously no longer a resident of Townsend, and I want to thank everyone for their
And of course, you've already registered to vote in the town of Epping.
I will be as of tomorrow.
Okay.
So, thank you very much. Oh, wow. Thank you very, very much. This is, I want to show the folks out there.
What's a Frisbee?
What's that?
It's a Frisbee.
It's a town
Thank you very much.
Frisbee.
Thank you very much. And I will really find a home, a place in my home in our home for this. And, you know, my wife and I spent 26 years here, and a lot of good memories and still a lot of good friends. And, you know, every now and then you maybe see me poking around, maybe Cliffs or wherever. So I want to thank everyone for their
Open your other present.
All right, Ma. Okay.
This one is a little lighter.
Yes.
It deserves a little intro, Bob. I know that in most of the years that you were on the board,
Oh, my God. I don't believe it.
You had to forego your stipend,
We used to,
and so we thought we could try to make that up to you.
as people, some people may know that, I guess technically, the board members receive a token compensation of $1 a year, and I'm not sure if that's a reflection of our
Not wanting to pay
overall
pensions or
worth
medical
our
or
performance,
whatever.
or what that's about, but in any event, we used to joke around that I never received any compensation, and I was always proud of that, and now I can't say that anymore. So this, it is actually
Yeah, that's what's actually.
So,
$1 for every year,
so
so I certainly didn't get rich.
Colin's going to read what's on that lovely
Hold on,
little
okay.
plaque.
Okay.
Let Chelsea get it.
Thank you.
It
Colin?
says, proclamation, whereas Robert Plamond has served on the Board of Selectmen for the town of Townsend for 9 years, and whereas Robert Plamond will be fully compensated for deferred stipends for his years of service and fully held harmless for his years of service. Now therefore, the Board of Selectmen of the town of Townsend do hereby proclaim Tuesday, December 3rd, 2013 as Robert Plamondon Day in the town of Townsend, and urge all citizens of Townsend to join us in congratulating Robert Plamondon for his many years of service to Townsend. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that. Christmas is early this year.
And Bob, I just want to take a minute to say.
Sure.
You've been so much fun. I have so enjoyed working with you. You were a mentor for me. I can't tell you how grateful I have been to have had you to help. And I'm going to miss you, and I'm going to miss your sense of humor, and I'm going to miss arguing with you about all of the things that we argue about.
Mostly politics.
Mostly politics.
Mostly state politics.
Yeah, you say black, I say white, things like that, but really, truly appreciate all you've done for the town, too. And on behalf of the town, I
Thank you,
want to
ma'am.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your
Appreciate that
service.
very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bob.
Okay. Good luck to everyone. Okay.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you for this.
And you can stay,
Okay, huh?
you can stay for the meeting.
No, I have a long commute. Chief, it's been a pleasure. Yeah, you take care of yourself. Thank you very much.
I'll get rid of
We'll take care of the rest.
Don't sit down all in one place, Bob.
I gotta put this together here. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate that.
I guess that's it.
That's it.
Thanks, Bob. Great working with you. Take care.
I know you didn't recognize me.
Okay, we have to go on. Bob, you can drop in anytime.
I will.
Okay. You do that. 7:05, pardon us for being a couple minutes late. We had some technical difficulty, and we did have to say goodbye to Bob. We have a tax classification hearing to determine the percentages of the local tax levy to be borne by each class of property for FY 2014. I'd like to open the public hearing. Is there something going
Sending that
around?
now, yep.
I'd ask everyone to sign in, please, that's here. And we have a legal notice to read.
The Board of Selectmen will conduct a public hearing on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2013, at 7:05 PM at Town Hall, 272 Main Street, Townsend, Massachusetts, for the purpose of determining the percentages of the local tax levy to be borne by each class of property for the fiscal year 2014. This hearing is in compliance with Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 56. Members of the public may present verbal or written comments prior to or at the hearing.
And we're asking the assessors to recommend residential and commercial factors.
Well, the board, as every year, recommends that you vote in a residential factor 1, so that all the classes are taxed at the same rate.
That sounds okay to me. How about anyone else here want to speak on it? Colin? No? No input from anyone else. This is no different than what we've done in the past. And this is really to make it equitable for business and residential. And in a small community like this, that's not an unusual thing. So no audience input. So Colin, we have a motion?
I move to adopt a minimum residential factor of 1 as recommended by the Board of Assessors.
And I'll second that. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay, I'll close the public hearing. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Vicki.
I'm just gonna grab that as soon as they sign it, so I can
Oh, okay.
click on it and
This
get
is
everything
not
into the
clear.
state.
Here?
Yeah.
We're in the audience, you have to sign. I might use my pen.
Andy, this is your stuff. Oh,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vicki.
Okay, moving on. 2.2, Bike Helmet Safety Program. Chief Irving Marshall will be present, and he'd like to draw winners of gift certificates for the annual Bike Helmet Safety Program.
Thank you very much. As we do every year at the end of our bicycle season, we pick 4 names of those that have been issued ice cream certificates that have been seen around town using their helmets, wearing their helmets, and utilizing bicycle safety. And as you saw several months ago, we had 2 boys in here who were the recipients of some bicycles. One of them was involved in a rather serious motor vehicle accident, and he avoided serious head injury because he was wearing his helmet. So we've been doing this program over about 25 years now, and since the time the program was established, we haven't had any serious head injuries as a result of those wearing their helmets and practicing safety. So with that being said, I'd like to pick 4 names, and we'll award those individuals $100 gift certificates so they can go out and either put that toward a new bicycle or some type of bike equipment. So with that being said, you want to pick one, Tom? And we'll just announce the name only, and we'll contact that person to
Just the
receive
first name,
it.
Chief?
Just, actually, you can, the whole name, just not the ad.
I did a dig.
Go ahead.
Colton Ranger.
Madeline Johnson.
Andrew Peliquin.
Lizzie Erda.
So those names that were read will be contacted by us, and they'll be receiving a gift certificate for their efforts.
Madeline Johnson.
Nice.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
indulgence.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
Moving on to 3.1, review and sign population estimate for seasonal licenses from the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission. Should
This
that be
is a,
4?
Yeah. This is something we do every year. ABCC requires us to certify our population based on the most recent local census. So the number we have right now is 8,850. That comes from the clerk's office.
Okay.
I make a motion that we sign the population estimate for seasonal licenses from the Alcoholic Beverages Control Commission.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Three point two, review and approve change in manager for Seasons Palace, number 3, Inc., DBA Yee's Village, 350 Main Street. Andy?
I'm sorry, I didn't bring all the...
The copy that I had in the packet did not have a name.
Oh, okay. The new manager is Chung Wai-yu.
Okay, and the piece of paper that we're going to be signing has that name on it?
I do have the original.
Did you give me the old one? Or,
That's the original.
Okay.
I just need to put this
yeah, we'll fill that in.
And then that goes on to,
That goes to the Alcohol Beverage Control Commission for filing, but it's a local approval at the board level.
I make a motion that we approve the change in manager for Seasons Palace, number 3, Incorporated, doing business as Yee's Village at 350 Main Street in Townsend, to Chung Wai-yu.
second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So I can pass it back.
3.3, review and approve annual renewals for auto, common victular, alcohol, and entertainment licenses, and consider requests by on-premises liquor license holders for 10 a.m. openings in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 33B. Andy?
This is the standard renewal that we do every year for all of the licenses. They'll become effective on January 1st. What's different this year is that we have, as of the last town meeting 2 weeks ago, adopted the statute that allows for an earlier opening on Sunday. And 2 establishments, Bailey's Bar and Grill and Bailey's on the Green, have filed requests for a change of hours to allow them to open at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and consistent with the most recent statutory adoption.
Okay, so is this in 2 parts then?
I would suggest that that you do typically what we do with the licenses is we vote them all as a single motion to approve all of the license renewals as shown on the list. And then I think a separate motion is probably appropriate for the change of hours for the 2 establishments. I think you could do them, both establishments together, but a separate motion from the other renewals.
I make a motion to approve the annual renewals for auto, common victular, alcohol, and entertainment licenses.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And,
Oh, yeah, and just, I'll have you sign out of session because there's quite a few of them, so.
yeah, we have to sign each of them,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
I make a motion that we, oh wait, do you want to discuss it first?
No, go ahead.
I make a motion that we approve the request by on-premises liquor license holders for 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. openings in accordance with Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 33B for Bailey's Bar and Grill and Bailey's on the Green, contingent on completion of required documentation.
And actually, we have all the
Oh, you do?
documentation now.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Strike what I just said.
So stricken, so moved, seconded.
Yes, seconded.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're all set?
As of January 1st.
Yes.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Have a good night, thank you.
Bye-bye. That's that. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
Okay. 3.4, review and approve intermunicipal agreement with Lunenburg for surplus net metering credits. Andy, you want to talk on this?
Sure. We've talked about this a couple of times over the last several months. The town of Lunenburg has been approached at one point, by several different solar farm developers that were interested in building solar arrays in Lunenburg, and under the statute, they can do so, and they enter into what's known as a host community agreement with the host community, with, in this case, Lunenburg. And the host community gets the credits that are generated by these facilities. The projects have consolidated, and right now it looks like it's going to be a single project that will generate about 3.5 megawatts of electricity. The town of Lunenburg uses about 2 megawatts of electricity, so they'll have a 1.5 million or so excess credits. We use a little under 900,000 kilowatts of electricity, and Lunenburg has offered to sell us those credits. What essentially happens is we get to reap the benefit of the credit, which is equal to a discount of about 15% per kilowatt hour. So it's a no-risk proposition, as I mentioned in the memo that's in front of you tonight. It doesn't really it doesn't have any downside for us. The only downside would be if we were to overassume or overestimate the benefit of the credits and reduce budgets, and then the credits, the savings wasn't what we expected or something like that. We'll take a very conservative approach to this, as we do every year with our revenues and expenditures. So the bottom line is we stand to see a 15% savings on our electric bills. So we think it's very beneficial to us. We're very appreciative of Lunenburg's offer to us, and
Very nice.
They're going to see a much more significant benefit because they're a bigger user. They're not part of regional school districts, so that's why they're better than 2 times the electric usage as we are. So beneficial for us, beneficial for them, beneficial for presumably the developer, or they wouldn't be developing it. So we've worked with, in addition to the negotiations with Lunenburg, worked with town council on this, and this meets their form.
Okay, so this is on the town, the town bill?
Yes, yeah.
This is not for the municipality?
Correct.
Not
Correct.
for the residents?
It's only on
Right.
town utility accounts.
Okay. It would be nice if we could do that at some point someday, but
Yeah, and we
I just don't
did-
want somebody to think that it's 15% reduction on
Right,
their
and
bills.
we did
Yeah.
look at that, and we are authorized by town meeting to enter into an aggregation agreement. At the time that we started doing that a couple of years ago, it made a lot of sense. The market has changed, so that aggregation is not really much different from the marketplace. So we haven't pushed that or pursued that yet, but that's something that we may invariably will look at in the future.
But
And that
we'll-
would benefit everyone.
We'll take a 15% reduction on our light bill. Colin?
I make a motion to approve the intermunicipal agreement with Lunenburg for surplus net metering credits.
And I'll second that. Any other questions? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3.5, vote to accept Sustainable Materials Recovery Program municipal grant from Mass DEP in the amount of $750.
This is one we've talked about in the past also. This is disposal costs for some rigid plastics, things like playground slides, things that don't fall into the normal recycling stream. The DEP grant will cover the disposal of those types of items. This is through the Board of Health.
I thought in reading it, it had also to do with them putting receptacles in public places.
It does, yes.
Okay.
There's some receptacles that we'll be finding appropriate locations for, potentially on the common, especially for the band concerts.
Yeah, I think it said all municipal public buildings.
Right.
Wow, so that's nice. It'll be clearer for people to know that if they've got a can of soda in their hands, they should throw it in the recycled receptacle, so.
So this is just a motion to accept the grant.
Okay.
I make a motion to accept the Sustainable Materials Recovery Program municipal grant from Mass DEP in the amount of $750.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3.6, review and approve collective bargaining agreements with highway, water, firefighters, police, and telecommunicators, and if necessary, convene executive session.
I don't see any reason to go into executive session. As I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, we're finalizing just a little bit of wording on a couple of the contracts. We're ready to have the board sign the highway water department contract as well as the firefighters contract. Everything is, in terms of the financial implications of the two contracts, are unchanged from what they were, I think, a month ago when we last talked about it.
And so you said highway
Water and the firefighters. And then the other two.
We're still doing wordsmithing?
Yeah, we're very close on those. And I hope to have those at the next meeting.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreements with highway/water and firefighters unions.
Second.
Just one clarification on the fire contract. What I'm recommending to the board is that you vote to approve it, but we'll actually hold off on the signing until after the union signs. Usually the union signs, then the town signs.
Okay.
So, but I'll have you sign the highway one tonight.
So do you want to amend that?
So moved.
It's really just, I just want the board to understand that.
You got that, Karen?
Yep.
So we'll sign that one later, but highway water will sign this evening.
Correct.
Okay. And we second that and vote?
Aye.
Aye. Hopefully those next ones will have their wordsmithing done. 3.7, review and approve Green Communities Annual Report and receive updates from the Energy Committee. Hi, my
Just in
favorite.
time.
Perfect timing, Karen.
You do all of that already? Wow,
Impressive, huh?
pretty good. It's because Bob's not here?
Yeah, Bob.
He was here, you missed
We
him.
even had a celebration.
Yeah.
We roasted him.
No, well, kind
He
of.
cooks up small.
Oh,
That was uncalled for.
wish I was here for the roast.
So what you got?
Okay, I gave Andy a copy of the annual report. I don't know if you want me to go through it page by page, or I can kind of hit the highlights. Basically, the annual report wants to know if you're still complying with the 5 criteria that we met with designation, and to see how you're doing on your energy reduction plan. Make sure you're not violating our vehicle policy, basically all of that.
So how do you think we're doing?
Well, so far, our baseline was fiscal year 10. We're down only 4% from there, but we haven't done a lot of things. Some of the things that we've done so far are We've done an audit of this building. We've done an audit of the police station. We've done a semi-audit of the water pumping stations. We've completed lighting retrofits at the police station, highway garage, 4 of the fire stations, and the water department offices. We're gonna be doing that in this building this month. We're gonna be replacing the 2 boilers in the police station this month, next week in fact. 2 of the pumping stations, the Cross Street station and the Main Street station, have like antiquated pumps. So replacing those, we hope, will help because water uses the most electricity out of everybody. So we're hoping that will decrease too. So by June of 15 is when we're supposed to meet our 20%.
And do you think that's on target with all those
It's hard to
improvements?
say. We've only done the lighting so far. So it's, you know, and being down 4%, only doing that.
Clearly, the rate would have to go up to, for it to work, but it started slowly. One question or comment, there seemed to be an increase in the library.
Yes.
Did we ever figure, are we still looking into what that was? The library energy usage actually went up from the baseline.
Well, the baseline year, we opened the library the end of October of that fiscal year, so there's only 8 months. So anything's an increase from 8 months to 12 months.
So if you figured it out based on a monthly basis?
They still are our biggest user of natural gas. And it's just
Interesting.
because of, it's ginormous. And it depends how the winter and the summer, how the weather is, whether you're gonna use a lot of the energy.
I can't remember, do they have ceiling fans in those buildings?
No.
I don't think so.
I'm just thinking sometimes with heat and high ceilings, you're better off putting in some fans to push the warm air down.
I think that's what they were doing in the highway garage too.
Correct.
Maybe we should look at something like that for that building as well.
There's also weatherization and insulation here at Town Hall that we can do. There's a furnace over at 8 Elm Street that's still oil burning that we could replace with gas, but that's a decision as a town we should make based on what's going on with the fire department.
That's true. That's another thought too, that if the new fire station comes to be, well, it's not gonna come that quickly, though.
Right, it would be after that.
Yeah.
And then there's a process in the law for exemptions for bringing new buildings on that are substantially larger than what you have.
What
So
did
we wouldn't be penalized.
What did we end up doing at the West Townsend Reading Room for energy efficient? Didn't we do windows and,
Yeah, we had an EECBG grant back in 2009. We replaced the oil boiler with a gas boiler, did some insulation.
but I thought,
And
didn't
then-
we just, capital,
Through capital, we've got funding to re-side it and put new windows in. So that will certainly
I
help.
mean, I don't know how much they use.
They're actually down 33% since the baseline, so those measures worked well.
Good.
So, did you say before that at the communication center, there's I know that wasn't there a HVAC approved a couple of years ago to replace? Has it already been installed?
It's already been installed.
And has that dropped usage or has it become more efficient at all? No.
We only replaced part of that system.
Yeah, part of it. There was two.
It's a component
condens-
system.
Two condensers and a air handler were replaced over there.
Yeah.
Same manufacturer, same type of units. We had to install those because if we had retrofitted the whole thing, we would have had to replace the whole system, so
Yeah.
it was cheaper doing it that way.
Yep.
So the 2 boilers that he has in his building now are about 84% efficient. We're gonna replace it with 1 big boiler that's 94% efficient, so
Good.
we're hoping that that will help. Also, their garage door, where they bring in the prisoners, it's heated within there, so we're hoping to put an insulated door there. Mark's working on that.
That'd be great.
We replaced T-stats over there too.
Yeah, we did
Unitil
that
gave
here.
us those free
Right.
thermostats, the programmable ones for here and the police station.
Oh, good.
Good.
Yeah. We think that the variable frequency drives for the water pumps will have a big impact as well.
It sounds like that.
Yeah. So,
They have, the water department has actually decreased their usage 23% just by putting the solar in at Harbor Trace.
Excellent.
That's great.
So Harbor Trace, Cross Street and Main Street are the biggest pumpers. So we're hoping if we tackle those that it'll help.
Very good. Is there anything you need from us?
I need you to sign the first page, which Andy has, that says that everything in the report is accurate.
Should I make a motion?
Mm-hmm.
I make a motion to approve the Green Communities Annual Report.
We put, approve and sign.
Approve and sign.
Second. Any other discussion? Not all those in favor?
Aye.
The only question I have is, I don't know, Andy, did you, don't sign yet. Did you sign the application?
I did sign the original application.
Because I think they want to see the person who signed the application to sign this.
Chief Executive Officer is defined as the manager in a city having manager, the mayor and the Board of Selectmen in any other town unless some other officer or body is designated to perform the functions of a chief executive officer under the provisions of local charter or laws having the forces of a charter.
Yeah, I think on the application, the board was able to designate somebody to sign. The way that's worded, I don't think the
It
board
sounds like it's
can
us.
delegate that.
All
It
right.
sounds like it's us.
Yeah.
There's only one here. I'll sign it, but I'll.
I think it works to have both
Yeah.
of you sign it. Yeah. It's not clear that it can be just the chairman or
Yeah, it's not,
one
so
member signing on behalf.
It sounds like the board
Yeah.
needs to sign this particular one.
Unfortunately, we had our chairman resign from the Energy Committee, which is a big loss because he was a huge asset. So we're down to 3 members, so we're looking for 2 members.
You're looking for 2, okay.
We meet once a month. It's not a huge commitment.
Fun people.
Maybe we could
Fun people.
ask the press to say Energy Committee people needed.
I'll be talking about
because
that and others later on.
Yeah.
We've got a whole bunch.
We've got a whole bunch, they're listed on the website. Gee, I'm beginning to wonder what's wrong. My brother lives in Concord, it's where I grew up, and I was telling him one day that we really have trouble getting folks to volunteer for various committees and boards, and he said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "In Concord, there's a waiting list to get on them."
Because they have money to do what the committees want to do.
Well, I think that has more to do with people really want to be involved in their community. They want to have a say in what's going on and all of the things that they want to do. And I'm disappointed that that doesn't happen in our community. I know we're considered a bedroom community, but, you know, and I know what it's like because I lived the life of 2 people working, run home, take the kids here, there, and everywhere, and summertime hot dogs and hamburgers every night, and wintertime pizza because you're running here and there. But you have to take responsibility for your town. It is what you make it. And let's see some folks raise their hands. I know there's a lot of good people out there, and one night a month isn't a lot to ask. It's the mother in me.
The town mother.
Well, no, and that is how I have taught my children. You do not complain unless you have a solution. Okay? So,
Thank you.
thank you so much
Thank you.
for your
Thanks, guys.
service. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
3.8, review and approve request from Ed Kukla, Highway Superintendent, to adopt Mass DOT highway rates for private snowplow contractors. Andy?
This is something Ed and I have talked about a couple of times. The rates that the town pays for private plowers, and we only use about 6 or 8 people to plow for us, and it's not a big part of the snow and ice budget, but our rates have fallen behind most of the area communities. A lot of communities now are pegging their rates to the Mass DOT rates, just because it's easier and we don't fall behind that way in terms of competitive advantage. So he's asking that that the board vote to peg our private contractor rates to the state rate, and in his memo, he's got some details on that.
So all you need from us is authorization to move to the rates suggested?
Yeah, vote to set our private contractor rates to the state rates.
Okay.
Make a motion that we approve the request from Ed Kukla, Highway Superintendent, to adopt Mass DOT highway rates for private snowplow contractors.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 3.9, vote to approve 2014 holiday schedule.
We have you do this every year, even though it's, most of these holidays are set by state law or by personnel rules or contracts, employment contracts, but just for the benefit of everybody involved, we've asked that the board adopt the holiday schedule that's in front of you tonight.
Okay. Colin?
Make a motion that we approve 2014 holiday schedule.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appointments of personnel officials. 4.1, request to appoint Janet A. Johnson and Carolyn A. Upham to the Townsend Emergency Management Agency from December 3rd, 2013 to June 30th, 2016. Volunteers, I love it.
I make a motion to that we appoint Janet A. Johnson and Carolyn A. Upham to the Townsend Emergency Management Agency from December 3rd, 2013 to June 30th, 2016.
Seconded with thanks. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5.1, updates and reports. Only thing I have to say is the building committee is continuing to go along. We met last night and reviewed the final estimates and the packet that's going to the MSBA. We were able to find just over $1 million in some savings, and it's not as much as some of us wanted, but at this point in the process, it sounds like it's good. We also have a list of alternatives, alternative things that they'll be adding if the town says it's okay. And it's progressing. I think 25th of January is the date that the MSBA is going to vote on whether or not to go forward with our proposal at this point. And if all is well, then we'll look forward to March or so for a special town meeting.
And one thing to that, Sue, if I could jump on, the school department forwarded a link to a new building committee website.
Oh, it's
And,
so nice.
So we've added that on the homepage of our website, so
As a link.
you can click on that.
Excellent.
And get to that, get updates on the project. There's a simple ask a question feature, which is very nice. I know there's a lot of people that have questions about all sorts of aspects of the project, so that's a nice feature to have on the website.
Also, if anyone out there has any suggestions on how we might disseminate information or help to answer questions, we've had some public forums. Those have been fairly well attended. We've done those in all 3 towns. But if anyone has any suggestions or has a private group that they would want us to come and speak to, please, forward that information through the website or by calling the administration office. We want to try to answer folks' questions and be right on top of transparency for this project, so everybody knows what we're looking at. Thanks.
Exciting.
You have anything, Colin?
I do not, except a cold.
I know, I'm trying. Andy, updates?
Just a couple of quick things. The Devon's Household Hazardous Collection Center is open tomorrow and Saturday. These are the last 2 days of this year. It's closed in January and February. So if you have any paint thinner or...
Do you know what the hours are?
9 to noon.
9 to noon both days?
Tomorrow, Wednesday, December 4th, and also Saturday, December 7th.
I got rid of so much in the spring, but I have a few things that I could run down there with.
Yeah, the average wait time is something like 2 minutes. So
Oh, it was
you zip
fantastic.
zip
It was
right
so
through,
well organized.
Especially this time of year.
But I went in the spring and
Yeah.
there were people, but they're so well organized.
Yeah, they've really organized it quite well.
Yeah, I have a bunch of batteries and things like that.
And as we talked about earlier, we've got a lot of vacancies. As Karen Chapman mentioned, we've got yet another vacancy on the Energy Committee. We had one anyways. We've got 12 committees that need people. Everything from capital planning to the Charter Committee to Trust Fund Commissioners, Recycling Committee, pretty much anything somebody might have an interest in, we can use people. So there's information on the website. You can call the Selectmen's office or email the Selectmen's office. We can get information out to people.
Even if you're just wondering, what is that all about?
Yeah, if you just want
And what's the commitment?
find out, if you
Call
want to
in
just find
and
out
we'll
when they
let you
meet,
know.
give us a jingle and we can tell you who to talk to and when their meetings are, so.
And Andy, what's the phone number for the Selectmen's office?
Selectmen's office is 978-597-1700, extension 1719.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all I've got.
Review and sign payroll warrant.
I make a motion that we sign the payroll warrant out of session.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion that we sign the bills payable warrants out of session.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Thank you.
Thank you.